This conference will now be recorded.
Okay. Good morning, guys. You can see my screen, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So till yesterday, we seen how to set up Sonarcube, and then we seen how to integrate Sonarcube with our Azure pipeline, and then what's the purpose of quality gate and how it helps to improve the quality of your builds. Basically, improving the quality of build means improving the quality of code, right? So it's a directly proportional, and that is kind of a enforcement. I mean, your developer cannot simply escape from the best practices of the coding. Okay. So that's how, I mean, that's how your quality gate is helpful, and you seen how to create a quality gate and bind it to a particular project, because in your company, in your organization, there will be a number of projects. Okay, if you want to have a different quality gates for different projects, you can still do it, because you can create quality gates and number of quality gates in your SonarCube organization. One funda is that you give the names similar to what you have in your Azure DevOps organization, or even if it Jenkins or anything, because otherwise you will not remember basically which project is related to which project in the Azure DevOps organization, just for our understanding purpose. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and look into some other scenarios. Let's extend those things. So I'm just getting into Sonarcloud. I keep exchanging Sonarcloud or Sonarcube, that's okay. But in your real time, you use only Sonarcube. Okay. So let's click on this, the project. What you see, this is failed, right? Because the criteria is not met, because it is having more than 20% duplications, and unit test coverage is not there, etc. Right? And that is what we define in the quality gate, right? We go to the quality gate, go to the administration, click on quality gate, and we are in the project level, not at the organization level. So let's go to organization, because quality gates are there. Click on 13th October. So this is the criteria we kept for a quality gate. So code smells, duplicate lines, unit test success, none of these are met actually. That's the reason your project quality gate is failed, and because of this your build is also failed in Azure pipelines. Okay. Now the scenario is that, okay, let's get into the code here, right? You can get into the code. Click on this online travel, and you go to the if you look into the duplications, right? Click on this. Now it will show you all the files where the duplicates are duplicate lines are there basically. Excuse me. So under microservices, web, so microservices is your project, right? Under that you have scripts folder, and web project, there is also scripts folder. Like this, everything you see is under scripts folder actually. Microservices is a project, it is a order, right? Project and then folder. Okay. And everything is related to your JS files or .cs html, right? And if you remember, I mean, of course this is a old project, but still uh, we never written, sorry, somebody go on mute. Okay.
Um,
That yeah, you're
yeah,
asking some
no
question.
problem, nothing. No, no,
Okay.
nothing.
So the developer did not write this code, right? Basically, whenever we created a project, right, you already got some scaffolding code. Scaffolding code means your Visual Studio or Eclipse, they give you some basic code to run your project. That's how we ran our project, right? We've been running. That is the beauty of our Visual Studio .NET projects. You don't need to write a single line of code to have a basic application up and running. The developers will go and extend that functionality by adding additional code files like .cs files, .cs html, etc., or .js file. Now the developer argues that, hey, these are not written by me. How do you expect me to fix all these bugs? I don't fix it. So that is a valid scenario as well, because let us say you are using AngularJS. Obviously, the developer need to download AngularJS scripts into their project, and if they are using React, they have to use React framework scripts. And then so there are and they are using some reusable component that may also have some issues. So the developer argued that, hey, whichever is written by me, I will fix it. Whichever is not written by me, I cannot fix it because I don't know. That's the argument. So obviously your project manager or you, right, will decide to exclude these files from the analysis. Okay, there are number of ways to exclude files from code analysis basically. So as an administrator, we will go in administration way basically. Okay, let's get into our build pipeline. You understand the scenario? uh, think you got the scenario, right? I think you are on mute.
Uh, Kunal, one thing. So
Mm-hmm.
when you said the developer who wants to, I mean, under what scenario will we get into this issue? I mean, get into this scenario.
Right. No, no, that's what I'm saying. Any code that is not written by me will be argued by him basically. He's saying that, hey, this is the code I'm using to augment my development because let us say this IntelliSense JS or jQuery JS, these are the code files from the jQuery framework. He did not write it basically. Basically, if you need to use Angular JS or React JS, it's a framework, right? They will download the entire framework into their project basically. If some duplicate lines are there or the quality of that code is not good, he is not responsible, right? Because that is done by the framework developers itself, Angular JS, React JS, etc. Similarly, uh, any other reusable component that may use. So the issues coming up from there, those kind of frameworks or usable components will not be done by this project developer. That's how they argue, and that is a valid argument as well. If it is not written by me, why will I fix it, or how I will fix it?
Okay.
Okay, the scenarios
Yeah.
come like that. Okay, in that case, if your project team decides to exclude these things from the analysis because this quality gate is failed. When quality gate is failed, that means you cannot deploy this code to the some servers, right? You have to stop at the CI until they fix the issues. They cannot move ahead, and obviously they cannot fix all these issues because the code is not owned by them. They are using it. This is by someone. Okay,
Yeah.
so how do you exclude it? So now if they tell you that, hey, so you can exclude a single file from analysis, or you can exclude the entire folder also from the analysis. Okay, as an administrator. So this is
Okay.
the first way one basically. I would say you will have a different ways. This is the first way basically. Okay, how do I so everything is under scripts here. You can see scripts. If you go to our Visual Studio project also, why you can see here itself, right, in the repos. Let me open in you see scripts folder is having a lot of jQuery. This is what you see there. Okay, and similarly web, you have the scripts folder. You see lot of jQuery files. This is framework, jQuery framework. Okay, if somebody needs to use this write jQuery scripts in their UI, they have to use this. There is no other way. Okay, similarly for Angular JS or whatever it is, everything is anything is not written by the developer. That's how you can remember. So you guys agreed, and then okay, you said okay, I will exclude from the analysis. That's what you tell them, right? Then how, where do you exclude? And the prepare analysis on Sonarcloud task. So far you looked at the basic configuration. So you have to give the project key and project name. We seen it yesterday. Now you go to the advanced. In the advanced section, see basically I commented one line if you remember. So what I'm saying here, let me uncomment this. Let me remove this hash. The above one is project.key and project name. These are mandatory. Whatever you given here in the top will have to be given here, project key and project name. And other one is sonar.exclusions equal to what I'm saying. Hey, this is star star means this is a regular expression. Star star means it will go and look into the root of the repository on this agent basically, because the code will be copied to the agent, right? Some C drive or D drive, etc. Since we don't know where that code is copied, we will give the star star. That means it will go and look into all the directories in this working directory, and look for a scripts folder. You can see scripts, and this is a case sensitive, guys. If it is yes, give capital S. If it is small, give small capital small. So copy paste the name scripts and slash star.js. Okay, what it is saying, hey, go to the scripts folder and exclude all the files with extension js. That's what it means. Now if you come here, all the files under scripts folder, here you have all these .js files, .js, .js across all the projects, under web, under microservices also. Because I did not given even project name, I simply say star star slash means it will go to this repo. Wherever it finds a scripts folder and across all these projects, it will take it and exclude all these .js files from the uh, from the analysis. Okay, now you just for your understanding, right now if you see 69.8 70.4 thing, right? You can take a screenshot just for your quick reference. Okay, okay, now let's go ahead and run this build. Okay, first save this. Okay, and then run this. Once you run it, what happens, the expectation is that from the build it should skip all these lines of code from code analysis, so that your duplicate lines percentage will come down. If you come to the overview, this should go off, this percentage. Okay, and let's go and now view the logs as well. So while the build is going on, you can see the logs, right? Now I will tell you how to read these things, because now you are in that scenario. Just observe these kind of things. For every task, it will give you, task description, version, author, etc. This is a very good information. Okay, now run code analysis. Now the analysis is getting done. It basically tells you, right? If you go and read it, it will tell you what files are being analyzed, etc. So, since I seen it n number and hundreds of times, I can easily locate those things. Let it run actually. You guys know, right, what is ALM? Application Lifecycle Management. So you call these tools, right, like Azure DevOps, etc. You can call them as ALM as well. That is another. I just seen ALM here. That's why I'm telling you. Okay, here it is said analysis successful. Let's go and see. Let it go. Run code analysis. Let me show you. You can see 1 minute 23 seconds. It took generally it was taking 2-3 minutes, right? That also you can observe. Let me sh- uh, click this run code analysis. I searched for it. You can see here, right? You see excluded sources star scripts start.js. Okay, where it goes and finding each and every project you see. Basically, this is a temporary data directory, right? Because the Microsoft agent is hosted agent is a temporary server, right? That's why it is all direct. It all looks like this. It is checking in integration layer project. It checked in microservices project, and everywhere it is checking for this. If it is there, then it is excluding that one from the analysis. You got it? You can search for logs like that. Okay. Now,
Okay.
yeah, if so if I come back here, now you see it automatically refreshed. You see 0.2%, right? Because now if you go and check the code, right, click on this number. Earlier, how many files were there? There are number of files under scripts.js, right? Like this. See 25,000 lines of code. That is mostly because of the scripts code. Okay. Now you see here, even I can exclude this one as well, because there I given only star.js. If you say star CSHTML, that will also go. So likewise, you can exclude the files, and still now you see, still there are some issues. Okay. Now let me. So there are some other ways to exclude the code from analysis as well. This is a way from the administrator, but developers also can do this suppression. Basically, what they do, they will go and so in the code itself, they will go and decorate their code with some attributes. Decoration means if you people, you developers writes classes and these are the whoops concepts in development. Okay, C sharp or Java, doesn't matter, whoops concepts are same. Okay, so they create a classes and methods to develop all this functionality. Classes and methods is nothing but whatever you see here. This is a class. Under this class, you have the methods like this. Okay, so that's how developers write the code, right? So developers can also go and decorate this class or method to exclude it from the Sonarqube analysis. They will go and write some exclusion is nothing but like this. Okay, in in .NET, basically we decorate a method, decorate a class means we will write like this: open brace and close brace, and write some commands here. Okay, like this. They will write it, and then they will commit that one. So when Sonarcube observes those decorators to suppress it from the, we can call it as a suppression, basically to suppress it from the analysis. Your Sonarcube will not analyze that one. That is another way. So most of the developers, they do it actually, but it is a responsibility of the team lead or a tech lead, whoever is reviewing the code, to stop the developers from doing that. If they do like this, then Sonarcube will not be able to analyze it, right? So the code reviewer part is important here. Okay. you can't do anything because this is not your job, right? You don't do the code review. Okay, that is another way. Okay, and there are see right now what we did, as I told you, as an administrator you can basically exclude at a directory level or the file level as well. Okay, and you can use many other ways as well to exclude the files. Let us say if I go to this project, there will be many files which need not to be analyzed. Okay, just an example, right? Let us say uh, we'll take some this file. It may not be required to, you know, there will be some auto generated files basically. Okay, basically developers write some download some code, right? Then they that will generate some auto generated files, like some readme dot files. There will be something like that. I mean, right now I don't have it like that. But whenever you have it, you can basically, let us say I have this tag. If I mean, I can go and tell the Sonarcube saying that, hey, if you find this kind of tag in a file, exclude that from the analysis. Okay, I can tell like that as well. Yeah, then you may wonder, hey, how do you know, how do you remember all these things, right? Okay, so there is no magic here, but I can tell you the shortcut. How do I remember, or how do I know what to be done, right? So see, you have the documentation available. As I mean, everybody knows it. Even I read it from documentation, right? But the best way to know all these things is from your administration. Okay, now we are at the project level administration. Okay, if you go to here, you are at the organization level administration. Okay, let's go to one of the projects, right? This is a project, of course I have only one. Okay, let me put it in presentation mode. Now you see exclude files, and we'll create some code profiles as well, don't worry. By default it will use the default code profile. We call it as a sonar way. Okay, why do we need a custom code profile creation? Because in your default code profile there will be some 100 rules to be analyzed for any given project, but in some cases you may think that you don't want to use all 100 rules to apply on your project. You may want to remove some of the files to apply on the from applying on the project basically. I will come to that one, but first do this one. In Sonarcube, now we are excluding all these files or directories from the analysis, right? This is also called as a false positive. Okay, you can call it as a false positive. That means Sonarcube will go and analyze each and every line in each and every file, and it will give you reports saying that this is violated, this is violated, this is violated, etc. But in some cases you may think that that violation is not appropriate. You can say that, hey Sonarcube, you are saying this is a issue, but to me it is not issue. This is specific to my requirement. Then you can tell Sonarcube saying that, hey, do not consider this kind of code for your analysis in the next build. So I can make it as a false positive as well. I will show you what is. Now how do I tell the people, I mean, I was telling that developers can also do, right? This is a Java code, guys, by the way. So they can decorate their classes like this, suppress warnings. You don't need to remember these things. I'm telling you, developers do like this: suppress warnings, all warnings, suppress a specific warning, avoid SOQL in loops. Okay, avoid SOQL in loops like this. Okay, you can. I'll give you this. I will give you this link, particularly helpful. Okay, now look at the what is false positive. Sonarcube allows you to mark false positives to prevent further alerts about certain issues in your code. This will block that violation from appearing until it is unlocked. Okay, how do I, as an admin, so the developers or project management ask you, hey, go and remove this violation from this project. That is nothing but a false positive. Okay, so how do you do that? Okay, let us go to, you are in project, go to the issues. When you go to the issues, you will see all the issues by category, right? Okay, you can see under code smell you have 64, under bug you have 37. Okay, and you can filter by any category here basically. So go to any issue. I opened this for you earlier, so you have a, by default any issue is with the open. Confirm, resolve as fixed, resolve as false positive, resolve as won't fix. It is self-explanatory everything. Now if I mark any issue as a false positive, okay, what happens? Let me go and see. Let me show you. Add a description to this table. What is this? So what this guy is saying, hey, you need to, wherever there is a tag like this, you need to add some description. Okay, that's what it is saying. Okay, if it is not there, it will Sonarcube will give you, you know, what do you say, issue violation, right? It will show you as an issue. So what you can do, if developer says that, or you know your manager says that, go and make it exclude from you know, don't ask Sonarcube not to report it as a violation, then you go and fix it as a resolve as a false positive. That's it. You can give some comment, okay, and say that's it. Now what happens whenever you do the next build, right? Sonarcube will not report these as a issues basically. It will ignore. This is called as a false positive in Sonarcube language. In another language, you are basically suppressing the issues from report as well. Okay, clear? All you need to do is come to the issues. Once you get into the project, you will be basically come to this overview and come to the issues. Ask the team what need to be made false positive, then go and make it false positive and give the description what is given by them. That's it. Only developers, I mean only administrators can do. I'm an organization administrator, right? That's why I'm able to do it. Okay, and since that discussion has come, where do you maintain all these permissions? You go to the organization and you go to the permissions. Okay, you will go and add the users, right? See right now, uh, all members of the organization, owners of the organization can administer and do this one. Okay, you can go and add a new user as well. Okay, I think yeah, I mean this project is tied to my Azure DevOps project, right? Whoever is there can be searched here basically. Sorry, this is my old project. You may not see your names. Okay, you may not see your names. This is only mine. This is my old project. So this is where you can administer, add users and give them what permissions to be required. Okay, and
Sonar,
how do I remove? Yeah,
Sonarcube, this access is only for the DevOps engineer, not for the developer.
no, developers
Yeah,
must see this one, right?
yeah,
See,
okay.
you are
No,
generating
the
these
admin
reports.
access. I'm
Yeah,
talking
no,
about
not
the.
the admin. They will
Okay,
only see, I mean if you come
okay,
to permissions, right?
yeah, okay,
Administer issues, administer security I mean hotspots, administer and execute analysis. Okay, give only execute analysis, no need of administration, right? Okay,
okay.
and similarly you can, if you go, you are at the project level, right? Okay, even if you go here, permissions, you see what people can do. Anyone can see everything is unchecked basically. Okay.
Okay.
Uh, like this. You don't give a permission to administration of quality gates for anyone, right? You don't do that like this. You get these are all self-explanatory. You just need to write have one or two people and to practice it actually. This is similar to what you have in any product basically. Okay. And it is important for developers. If they don't see these reports, how do they fix the issues? As I told you, people have to go to the issues as part of the Scrum meetings, look at these bugs, okay, and they have to assign to the people, right? From here itself, they can assign it to the people, okay.
Okay.
So that's one. So how do you exclude etc. Right? I was telling you the easiest way to remember or identify those things is you go to administration and then general settings. Under general settings, uh, see here some things, whenever an issue is reported, who should you assign it to? When Sonarcube analyzed, it will report the issues, right? You can give some person name as well. All whatever you see here, right? Okay. New issues will be assigned to this each user each time it is not possible, etc., etc. You have a key, and then equal to you have the value. If you go to your pipeline, edit this pipeline, how I am writing it, you will be knowing now. Go to prepare analysis, advanced. You can put it here simply. You see, this is the key. Left side is key, right? And right side is your actual value. So I am taking all these keys from with the help of this Sonarcube basically. Our analysis scope is what? Excluding code files or excluding files, etc. So you see all those things what I'm using here. Coverage exclusions, duplications, and then sonar file exclusions. If you see what is this one, configure the files that should be completely ignored by the analysis. Okay, this is appropriate key for me to implement my requirement. That is implementing my requirement. What is that? To exclude some files. So for this, I need to use this regular expression sonar dot exclusions. This is the key. Patterns used to exclude some source files from analysis. That is the description C, and that's the reason I found it. This is appropriate for me, and then I taken this key sonar dot exclusions, and I kept it in my additional property sonar dot exclusions, and I given the path to my files. I need to exclude many files. That's the reason I given regular expression, and this regular expression is also given here how to do it. Okay. See, all you need to do is reading this with attention. Basically, you don't need to go to any other documentation. So that's the reason I'm giving all these tricks. Okay. See, star means it will match zero or more characters. Star means it will match zero or more directories. Uh, question mark means match a single character. Okay. Now what I given here, star. So it is going and looking for scripts folder in each and every directory or a parent folder and star.js. And I can change it as well. Instead of star.js means all files with .js, I can say like this. Hey, take all the files, okay, that starts with M, and it can be anything, but extension is .js. Like this, you can go and write. Guys, if I mean, there is no limit here for this. There will be thousands of examples, right? All I'm saying, go and read these things. All you need to do is taking these keys and putting into that additional properties, and it will give you all these, So it is also telling you ignore issues and files. I was explaining, right? You can tell Sonarcube to ignore some files which is having some content. Okay, that content, let us say I told you, right? You can write, you can use that key, what is that? sonar.issue.ignore.all file, and you can tell that, if file contains XML version 1.0, ignore it from uh, you know analysis. So you can look into the content and do the exclusion as well. This is very very advanced. I don't think people will go to this level, but I'm still telling you. You never know, right? So there are scenarios. That's the reason Sonarcube is also giving the options to do that one. Okay, and I given some examples here. Okay, I taken it from I just taken it from the Sonarcube for your quick reference. Okay, okay. How do you ignore? You can basically go and give this uh, example. Configure your build like this: key equal to star. You can give some name. Path equal to star star. You see, ignore all issues on COBOL program. Bank slash some COBOL file. Uh, in your case, it will be .cs file. Okay. So I given some examples here. What you need to do is, did I copy paste the link there? No, right? This will directly take you to that page. What I am telling you. Let me put here in the chat. Go and spend half an hour or 1 hour. It will make you an expert basically. This is all about analysis scope. I just kept it in the chat. So go and spend some time reading this one. But now you know how to use these keys in your build, basically build pipeline. Okay, and rest everything, you don't need to worry all these things. See, even as I tell you, right, nobody works on each and every item of any product. But I tell you to go and spend some time on reading these things, and this is related to some Python, okay, Ruby, Scala, okay, and then Swift is for your iOS development. Swift is a programming language for iOS development. Okay, and VB.NET, it is a .NET. Okay, go and spend some time to read these things. This is a good place. Okay, but the important one for you is analysis curve. Spend a lot amount of time here. Okay, because this is your day-to-day job. Okay, Jacogo is a framework. Is a product for for Java to do to identify code coverage basically. Okay, this is just for your information. What file? You can filter if based on each and every. This is for your information. Okay, in each and every language, what are the different options available? Okay, you see, you may know mostly uh, ELSQL, you may know. Okay, you go and read basically about each and every language. It will give you some information. You see here list of all suffixes for files to analyze. It is telling you, hey, if there is a .cs file, go and analyze that one. Such kind of things. Go and read these things, guys. Okay. Okay. Coming to another important one, I told you, right? Code profiles. Okay. If you go to the code, by default, okay, come to the organization. Okay. When you come to the organization, I clicked on the organization name. It will show you a dashboard with all these projects. Right now I have only one project. Okay, you went to the quality gate and you explore that quality gate. Now you come to the quality profile basically. So your Sonarcube is having a number of rules, right, for Java, .NET, etc. and those are all given some name that is called a profile basically. Okay, by default SonarCube uses a profile name called Sonarway. You can see these are different programming languages: ABAP, Apex, C. This is what I see in our uh, administration section as well, right, from the drop down. And similarly for C sharp I have two profile because I was giving a administration demonstration earlier, right? By default every programming language will have a profile called Sonarway. Under that, you will have all the rules for the code analysis. You see, under this Sonarway, you can see the built-in because it came up with a software installation, right? Under this profile, how many rules are there? Total 269 rules are active and 141 rules are inactive. Means totally you have 270 plus 320, 310, 410 rules are there, but in that only 269 are active in this profile. Only those 269 rules are used for the analysis, and it is giving you some categories as well. Bugs, how many rules are in the bugs category, how many rules are in the vulnerables category, and how many they are here, right? Now the scenario is that your your architect or project manager or someone comes and tell you, hey, there are 269 rules here, but all these rules are not applicable for my project. You need to remove some of these rules from the analysis. So since this is a default rule profile, you cannot activate deactivate anything here. You need to make a copy of this one, because in your Sonarcube there are hundreds of projects or thousands of projects using this profile. If you change this, this will affect each and everything. That's the reason if someone is having any specific requirements, you need to make a copy of this one. Means you need to make a your own code profile, and then you can go and activate or deactivate the rules. If you click on this one, you see everything is grayed out. You see the symbol, right? Red symbol. I can't do anything. Okay, for this reason, go to the quality profiles. You can go and create your own because you are administrator. Click on the create and give some name. Give some meaningful name, right? Not like this. Okay, let's say this is for C sharp and parent is Sonarway. Create. Now this is a copy of my Sonar profile. Now I am the owner of this profile. I can do whatever I want. Let us say click on active files. I should be deactivating. Oh, sorry, this rule is inherited. Okay, but everything is inherited, right? It cannot be deactivated. Let's go to what is a inactive files, quality profiles. There is my profile just I created. C sharp. Where is the C sharp? Where is the C sharp here? Yeah, here. Okay. Click on the inactive. Oh, so my bad. I think those are mandatory rules. It seems whichever is inactive looks like optional. Okay. Here right now there is these rules are inactive, right? That's why it is asking me. It is giving me an option to activate. Okay. I can activate this rule, and I can spread the severity as well. Is it a minor or a blocker, etc.? You can set it and then say activate. Okay. So like this, you can include some of the rules that are available, which are not in, but not in the analysis scope basically. Okay. I think those things cannot be changed, which are mandatory. Okay. That's my bad. Can go and put it. If it is nothing, it's not a issue, then you can keep it info like this. So if somebody asks you uh, to do this, you can go and create a copy of your profile. And when you create it, it was asking, parent, right? Like you observe the other options. Shisha. So you have your now you can use your profile as well, or none as well. If it is a none, I guess you need to this will be used uh, even developers can also write rules. Basically they can write a rules and export it to Sonarcube as well. Okay, I mean I did it a long time ago, but because now 10 years ago it was not that matured. Basically now you have almost not almost each and every rule is available here, but still if developers want to create their own Sonarcube rules, right, they can also write it, uh, custom Sonarcube rules. You can, so you can also refer to this one. Okay, if you want to understand what a developer will do. Basically I have put this in the chat box. Okay, now you see parent is not mentioned here, right? Okay, but all the rules have come here. Basically all the rules in the Sonarcube have come here. Now if you go here, I did not select the parent. Okay, uh, I can activate whatever I want. So what is the difference now? Before in the previous profile I selected parent as a sonar way. Okay, in that sonar way you have 410 files. That profile was created by the Sonarcube itself. Okay, when I created my profile, I selected sonar way as a parent, and I was not able to, what do you say, I was not able to deactivate some of those rules because those are inherited from the parent. Now when I created this current profile, what I did, I did not select from any existing profile. I made it none, and because of that one, all the rules have come by default inactive to my profile, and these are all in your Sonarcube framework. Basically, now I am able to select what is required for me from the available 410 rules. Right? That's it. Now you can go and use this profile for any given project. If you go to quality profile, okay, and you go to your project, it's never used, right? You see under projects, no projects are explicitly associated to this profile. Now if I want to use this profile only with the 3 rows, then I can go and search for projects online. You see, that means whenever your build pipeline triggered, Sonarcube will go and analyze your project only with this profile, and this profile is having only 3 rows. So the way you associated a quality gate to your project, in the same way you can associate your quality what do you say, this rules profile, you call it as a quality profile with your project. Basically, so individual project can have a individual profiles. So some projects may have 100 rules, some projects may have 80 rules, like that. So it's a custom analysis. But most of the times what I would see is everyone uses the same profile. Okay, clear guys? So
Same
you can
profile
see
means that is
same
custom
profile means,
profile with
yeah, what I
um,
say, most of the times they don't even create a profile, they will go and use the built-in.
okay.
Means with all the, so by default Sonarcube is creating Sonarway, right, with all the rules.
Yeah.
They will go and
Okay.
use that because that is the default. Whenever you create a project, this project is automatically assigned to that. Basically this profile is automatically assigned to that. But people come and think that, hey, what happens if they are seeing thousands and thousands of issues, right? Then that's where people come and ask you, right? Because they get panicked, they cannot fix them. At the same time, they cannot wait for a build to complete, right? They will, hey, go and exclude these files from the scope, or sometimes they say, hey, these rules are not applicable for me, man, go and deactivate. I don't want them to be in my analysis scope. Like that, they will give you all these requirements. Okay, in such cases, either if it is related to rules activation or deactivation, go and create a profile and assign it to your project. If it is analysis scope, like some files to be excluded or some folders to be excluded, then go and use the analysis scope basically.
Okay.
So these are the scenarios that you can use. Clear?
Yes.
Okay. Now here we've been using master, right? Here, if you see here, I'm using master. Okay. But as if you remember, in our triggers we mention any, right? It can be a feature, it can be anything, isn't it? Okay. So if you go and use, let me change this source. I can change source here, or when I click on Q also I can source. Let me click on Q and say, instead of master, let me take another one. Let us say feature and say run. It's the same code, but from different branch, right? How it looks like, you see. That's what I wanted to say basically. Right now you only see one branch. This is a branch symbol basically. So why I'm telling you, you will understand in a minute. Okay. If you go to the administration, you have branches and pull requests. Okay. In the administration section. And here you have a topic, item called, or a section called long lived branches. Okay. And since you have a long lived, obviously there will be short lived as well. Okay. So long lived, so that you in your Sonarcube terminology or Git repo terminology, you call some branches will be termed as a long lived, and some branches will be called termed as a short lived. What are the long lived projects, repos? Long lived repos are all your master and dev, because you never delete them. If you go to repos, right, your branches, master you will never delete, because this is fully working code anytime. Releases you will never delete, because release 1 2 3, the whole purpose of creating release 1 2 3 branches for the traceabilities, right? In which release what code has gone, what features have gone, like that. What are the short-lived branches? Your feature branches are short-lived branches. Means in every, let us say, if I take myself as a developer, right? In a single sprint, which is a 14-day sprint, right? In a single sprint, I may work on three different features. Means three different requirements, but you call it as a feature, right? Then I will have a three different project branches here. If you keep on maintaining these branches in your repos for a long time, then over a period of time you will see thousands and thousands of branches here. So it is a maintenance overkill for administration, and it is a storage waste as well. Because nobody, once the feature is completed, developed and tested, and it is in live, you don't need this, because you are merging this code with dev and master as well. Your code is in the master, your code in the release, you don't need it. That's the reason in your pull request you have that option, when that pop-up comes, right? Delete branch after the merge. I don't know how many of you remember. Do you remember, guys? delete branch after the merge.
Yeah,
Huh?
it's good one.
Yeah. So anything other than master and release and dev are a short-lived branches basically. So these are all short-lived. It is only for temporary purpose. Maximum you will keep it for a sprint basically, or you will because you never know, right? Your merge may complete or may not complete, or even after the pull request completion, it will go to the production and it may give you some error there as well, or in the testing environment itself you may get an error. That's the reason people mostly do not delete it immediately. They will delete after a sprint or so. But there are chances where you can delete immediately. Let us say you just need to add some configuration in. Probably that is 1 or 2 lines of code change basically. Just go and delete it because 1 or 2 lines of code doesn't matter. Okay, as part of the pull request. Now, see, this is not now you see okay, the
Sorry to interrupt. Can I leave? I need to start office today. Let me take
okay,
some
just a
leave.
minute so that you will I will conclude it basically. Okay, uh, now you see how the I have multiple branches now. Okay, you see the naming convention is up to the people, right? Okay, there is no fixed criteria, mandatory criteria that everybody needs to name their branches in some particular. Everybody will go in their own way. But how do I name some branches are short lived and some branches are long lived? So I can go and put this regular expression here. I'm saying, hey, if any branch is starting with name release, then take consider it as a long lived branch. Master is by default. So like this I can put my regular expression here. You can read it. So why it is important for you, and why it is important for you, if it is a short lived branch, analysis will happen each time only on the new code. On the new code means uh, in the previous build you have 1,000 lines of code. In the current build you have a 1,200 lines of code. Then only the additional 200 lines of code will only be analyzed if it is a short lived branch. If it is a long lived branch, irrespective of the additional code, it will analyze all the code. That's the only difference. I can name here. I can put the, I can tell Sonarcube this one. Hey, anything that starts with release is a long lived branch. That's the only difference. I just want to convey that. Short lived and long lived. Okay. So, okay, guys. We covered Sonarcube, each and everything here basically. All you need is just you need to go and practice it. Give attention to these things. Go and spend time reading these things basically, so you can basically relate to what we done here. Okay. Tomorrow, okay, that's it for me from today. Let me